Everybody now rock with me as I switch the flow. Money on the table, I get the dough. Yeah, your boy been him with Troy, yeah, for about 5 hoes and a brick of blow. Like, yeah.
What's up, my G's? I am Ghost, and this is my thoughts on the WWE brand extension, in particular SmackDown Live. So, without further ado, if you didn't see my initial thoughts on it, you can just the link will be in the description of the original video I did. But this is different. Now that I have time to think on things, some weeks went by, we're a couple episodes in. We're gonna start off with SmackDown. We're starting off with SmackDown because, in general, I like SmackDown better than SmackDown Live, better than Raw. Okay. Although SmackDown has, I'm gonna do this in different categories. All right. We're gonna do the roster, match quality, presentation, championships, and then we're going then GMs, and then we're gonna finish it with my idea that I have and what would I do different. Well, not different, but what will I do? Warning, I'm not trying to say how I would book things, because I know that's annoying for a lot of wrestling fans. When you have a wrestling fan try to say, well, you should have did it like this, and you should. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, here's what I was thinking that they probably would have did, because I was seriously thinking they would have did this, but they didn't. But that's for later on in the video. So we're gonna talk about the roster. Now, SmackDown has a less valuable roster than Raw. That's true, okay? Raw has all the stars, well, all of the major stars right now. They just have more stars in general. I don't even know the exact number of stars, but I'll put that on the screen. But I do know that they have more, and I'm looking at the SmackDown Live roster right now. Now, although SmackDown has a less valuable roster and less people on the roster, I like SmackDown's roster a little bit more, mainly because it's a smaller roster, so I can understand every different character better. And the people that I like on the SmackDown roster are, like AJ Styles, of course, the Usos, although they haven't been presented as best as they could, but that's not their fault. They got caught up in the Roman Reigns heat, and that transferred over to them, because now they're saying, well, you're going along with this guy, you're defending this guy, you're related to this guy, so we're not going to with you. That's basically where that comes from. That's why they're getting booed every time they come out. Kane, Rhino, but those are different. Those are more like on nostalgia. So I'm looking at the roster right now, and the people that I see on here that I don't know. I mean, they have Bray Wyatt. That's good. They have Baron Corbin, but I haven't seen him really do anything. As well as Apollo Crews, haven't seen him do anything. They have Dolph Ziggler. I like Dolph Ziggler. Lately, he's been kind of hypocritical to the Miz. He's telling the Miz what he thinks of himself. Like, it's weird. Who else we got? It's kind of it. I mean, you got Kalisto, former United States champion, but that a lot of people say that he had one of the worst United States title reigns in recent memory, so I ain't gonna count Kalisto. You got Randy Orton, and that's pretty much it for that. You got nice divas. I mean, women. Don't get mad at me. I would say Nikki Bella, but I don't. Nikki Bella's getting a no from me. You got Natalya, but she's been very boring lately. It's like a long time. Like, she's banking on that sharpshooter. It's the only thing she got in her matches. Like, and you got Naomi, who is she's like one of the best female wrestlers on the roster. Like, I don't understand how. Like, I know everybody. They go to, like, what's her name? Kind of like Sasha. I'm not Sasha Banks, but Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and what's the new girl name? Bailey. They lean more on them, but Naomi has been seriously overlooked for a very long time. All right, and I'm not just saying that because I like her assets. Okay, I added a word to that. Access. They got Ava Marie, but seriously, she has to be Vince's favorite female on the roster. I don't know why she's still here. Like, she's like a modern day. She's like you know when they used to do the Diva Search. Like, she's like one of those Diva Search contestants that didn't win. You know, she's like the runner up for them. Like, no one ever remembers the runner up. Dean Ambrose, but I've never been a fan of Dean Ambrose. Yeah, bring the hate, but the first thing that always made me not like him was them weak ass punches he throws. They so terrible. Like, it look like they don't connect at all. But we're gonna move on to the match quality. I enjoy SmackDown matches more than Raw so far. Okay, when I watch SmackDown on Tuesdays compared to Raw on Mondays, especially last night, because I'm recording this on Tuesday, SmackDown's later tonight. Last night, Raw dragged on for so long. Like, it just, like, like Stone Cold says this on his podcast a lot. He says, I don't know what it is, but you know, I understand that it's a 3-hour show, but there's no energy on Raw. You know, it's like, I can understand what he's saying, because I'm not trying to, you know, beat the dead horse here, but because I get tired of hearing about this Attitude Era stuff too. Like, I understand Attitude Era, I understand, you know, all the stuff people go to it. I've heard all of it. There's nothing you can't tell me that I haven't heard about the Attitude Era, how great it was, blah blah blah. But they had the energy, you know, the testosterone, you know, going into it. Like, it was hype. It'll leave you hype from the intro all the way to the last second. It was all hype. It never dragged on for too long. Occasionally it did. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seemed forever. But on SmackDown, I haven't felt that way. On SmackDown, it's like, I like that it's 2 hours. It goes by quickly, actually. And you see, you know, you see the familiar faces, but you know their story. So it's not like you're introducing them over and over and over again. So that's what I feel on the match quality. Now we're gonna go to the presentation. Now, I like the SmackDown set that they used. Okay, I think that the ramp is actually lower than the Raw ramp. Like, the SmackDown, I don't even know why it's a ramp. It's more like a carpet. It's like an inch off the ground. I like the presentation of it. I like the new graphics, although it still looks. It is the Impact Wrestling logo. You can't tell me that it's not. Okay, if you look on my Twitter account and you go down, if you scroll down a little bit on the timeline, you'll see that I made a joke, kind of like a kayfabe wrestling joke, where I was like introducing you the new SmackDown Live logo, but it was just the Impact Wrestling logo, and I think it got like a retweet or something, I don't know. But I do like the presentation. You know, I like the logo, I like the new stage. I've been begging for new stages forever. I mean, like, that's the thing I said last time in the last video. It's like the old Universal set that they had no character in it. And I like how, even though they're really like not that great, they're still different. So it's new, you know what I'm saying? So I like how that, you know, how it looks. But now we're gonna go into the main event, the championships. Okay, we're gonna start off with the World Heavyweight title. All right, here's a problem I've seen. WWE put most of their main eventers on the Raw brand, but here's the problem. Now the World Heavyweight title for SmackDown doesn't have any credible contenders. I mean, Dolph Ziggler, he's been beaten. He's in the Intercontinental bracket now. Like, who? John Cena? Is he gonna get another title win? Like, I'm looking at all of the roster right now, and I've heard things that AJ Styles is gonna get a shot at the title. I mean, he is getting a shot at the title, and I feel like he's going to win it. But they're gonna have to win it. I mean, he's gonna have to win it in order for it. I mean, there's no one really on this roster besides maybe Bray Wyatt and John Cena that are credible to defeating Dean Ambrose and Randy Orton. But is he gonna get another title reign? You know, like, that's the main problem, that there's no one who's in that contender reign. Like, they're gonna have to bring somebody in, or SmackDown is gonna have to start making some trades. and I wish they would do that. I wish that's a new thing where they make trades, because they're gonna need it. Okay. Intercontinental title. The IC title, it is finally bringing the Miz into form. Finally. Like, he's been floating for so long, but at least we now understand what's really behind the Miz character. You know, for me, in order to make the IC title seem more important, Miz have been saying, you know, I do this, you know, then now y'all all seen the promo. But I was so mad when he didn't fight Dolph Ziggler. I felt if they really wanted to make Miz look like a badass, if they really wanted to make the IC title seem really important, then Miz was going to get in that ring, he was going to fight Dolph Ziggler, and he was going to get the best of him. So that would have brung out the competitive side of Dolph Ziggler, and that would have made Backlash even more better. But now we're gonna go into Backlash. Like, yeah, Miz is still running away from Ziggler. Why? When you're the Intercontinental Champion, you're the champion. You don't run away from anybody, especially if you're the Intercontinental Champion. If anything, you run into fights. So that was the thing that was the main thing that I didn't like what they're doing with the IC title. Now the SmackDown tag titles. These titles are worthless as of right now because there's 5 SmackDown tag teams. Okay, only one of them is credible, and that's the Usos, because they are former tag team champions as well as Slammy winners. On SmackDown, you have whatever it is. You have the American Alpha. You have what's the name of the Legion of Doom impersonators? The Ascension, and you have Rhino and Heath Slater, as well as Silent. I don't even know the team names. The Vault Villains, and I guess you could count Bray Wyatt and the Bald Giant. But I mean, Bray Wyatt is not gonna hold a tag title, like, so the only person that I could see winning is the Usos in this tournament. And we're gonna go to the SmackDown Women's title. There's nothing more I can say about that one. This title is just downright stupid. This diminishes the value of the true women's title, and that's on Raw. That is the title that Charlotte is wearing around her waist. She is the true women's champion of the WWE. And the fact that they just made another one completely erases everything they just did at WrestleMania, the Divas Revolution, the Women's Revolution. It erased all of that just by having this belt be on SmackDown. Like, I was so angry at that. I was like, what's the whole point of bringing together the Divas and the Women's title? What's the whole point of renaming the Divas title the Women's title just to make another Women's title on another brand? That is going to go into my idea later on. I have something for that I think you guys will like. Now we're going to go to the GMs, okay? I'm not a Daniel Bryan fan. I've never been a Daniel Bryan fan, okay? Nothing against Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan is a horrible general manager, okay? He is completely going against his own character, okay? Daniel Bryan was always the underdog, okay? He was always looked down upon. That was his character in the WWE, alright? But now he's contradicting his own character by not giving Heath Slater a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gave Daniel Bryan a chance. He begged for that chance because I guess his character was like, oh, come on, I'm better than anybody else you got. But they still gave him a chance though. Even after they fired him. He ain't giving Heath Slater a chance at all. He's making fun of Heath Slater. He even made fun of the Miz. Okay. That was kind of, I mean, it was true, but at the same time, he still didn't have a right to talk because he's not even wrestling anymore. Shane McMahon. Shane is just being old man Shane, you know, talking all quiet and pronounced and not raising his voice like he used to. I mean, if you want to see a young Shane McMahon, like the real young Shane McMahon, Look at the WrestleMania rage party. That Shane was drunk off his ass on that night, okay? That was the real Shane. All right. Now that we're done with that, we're gonna go into my idea, okay? Remember, I'm not trying to rebook anything. I'm not trying to be that person. This is just what I was thinking of. I'm not saying they should do this. I'm not saying it would be better if they did this. I'm saying this is what I was thinking of, okay? And this partakes to the SmackDown women's title. My idea was to only have one women's title, okay? And the thing was that you have, like, say, since Charlotte is the champion on Raw, I was thinking have all of the women, well, not all of them, but you know, just have the women wrestle each other for a chance to get at the women's championship, right? So after all these women wrestle each other or whatever, however they want to do it, have that one representative for SmackDown, and at whatever pay-per-view, at Backlash or whatever, you could have a Raw versus SmackDown match, and whoever wins gets the bragging rights, gets the trophy of the women's championship. It comes to SmackDown, so it creates a rivalry between the brands, and it could be on more of the surface rather than just being we're team blue and we're team red. Instead of that, just being like, yo, we have the women's championship. Now all the women on Raw don't have a title, you know. So in doing that, maybe there could be more brand jumping. Like I'm going to SmackDown. They got the title, or people showing up on SmackDown without them supposed to be. You know, create like a friction. You know, make a conflict type of atmosphere for Raw and SmackDown. Like, you know, maybe they could have did that with the with the tag titles too. I'm not sure. Anyway, that is my thoughts on the SmackDown Live brand split, and I will have the Raw brand split done later, upload it later. So anyway, what are your thoughts on everything? What's your thoughts on the roster? What's your thought on the matches? What's your thought on the presentation, the championships, the general managers, and how did you like my idea? If you have an idea of your own, leave it in the comments, and we'll discuss it in a later video. All right, this has been the Ghost. All right, thanks for watching this. Remember, if you stayed for the entire 19 minutes, thank you, you're real. But I'm the Ghost, and I'm out.
Is you don't do it like this. Drop top in the whip, you don't do it like this. Every night another bitch, you don't do it like this. Might do a lot of that, you don't do a lot of this. That boy, he wish that he could do it like this. Drop top in the whip, you don't do it like this.